Hey guys, it's Charlene. I am so excited to share this brand new product with you guys. I had no idea that I needed this in my life, but I really did. So this is the brand new card making sketchbook from Trinity Stamps. They reached out to me a few weeks ago and said, hey, we have this new sketchbook coming out. Would you like to take a look at it and show it to your subscribers? And I said, yeah, definitely. That sounds cool. I'll take a look at it. And, if it's something I like, I'll make a video about it. I don't always make videos about products. I tend to only make videos about products that I really like. And when I first opened this, it was way bigger than I thought it was going to be. The next thing I noticed was that it is made really well. So I can see this standing up over time. So it comes in a nice box. It comes nice and wrapped like this. You can see the covers are nice and thick, so they're not going to get torn off. It has that big spiral binding on the left there. When you open it, it's got this ruler as well as these little drawing pieces that can help you sketch out your cards that you're going to make. You can see the tabs here. You've got A2, A7, mini slimline, and then other sketches. So they've thought of all the different styles of cards you might want to be making. And here's the A2. You can see it's got a spot for you to draw out your card, put the color palette, put any notes. I like that on the back there is also a landscape page. So the front is portrait and then landscape. At the end, it shows you different matting sizes. And so it does the same thing for each of the other sizes of cards. It's got pretty much anything you could possibly want when you are sketching out a card. They have thought of it and they have put it in here. And again, I had no idea that I needed this, you guys. On the slimline, it has one vertical and one horizontal on each page. And then here's that back section for other sketches. It has this dot grid paper, which is awesome. So you can sketch out pretty much any size card that you would possibly want. So I want to show you guys how I normally sketch out my cards. This is, I don't want to say embarrassing, but it's really kind of lowbrow. So here's my current notebook, and this is how I sketch out my cards. I can't even really read my own handwriting or tell what I was talking about. Certainly, I can't really ever go back and if I'm thinking, oh, I want to recreate a card, I have no idea what products I used or anything. So I'm going to sketch out a card and then create it while you guys are watching this video. So I had a couple of items that Spellbinders sent me for a card that they needed made. This is also a new release item. And so I thought, why not start right with that? So I put, as my project for Spellbinders. But obviously you could put that for Sarah's birthday or, whatever you have going on. As the inspiration strikes, you can start sketching out a card. You don't have to make it right then. So the first thing I went ahead and did is I wrote out what products I was going to be using for the card. I have the Delicate Snowflakes as well as the Snowflake Wishes die sets from Spellbinders. I'm going to use both of those. And then I'm going to start sketching things out. So I'm looking here, I've got 4 large snowflakes and I'm thinking, okay, 3s work really well on cards. So I'm going to go ahead and sketch out 3 of the snowflakes, kind of get a sense of where I want the placement to be on there and pick which snowflake I'm going to put where. I've thought of several different use cases for this for everyone, and I just want to share those with you so you can get a sense of where my head is at. So if you're a casual card maker, I could see this being a really good thing to have where you can either one, plan your cards, or two, document your cards. So that way, later on down the line, you can say, oh, I made that cool snowflake card. I want to remake it, even though you've already sent it off. You can refer back to your sketchbook and see what products you used, see your sketch, and recreate the card. Now, if you're on design teams, I can see this being also really, really helpful because you're able to write down all the different products that you were using. So that way, when it comes time for you to post your card and put all of the information out there about what you were using, you'll have it all right there. The other thing I could see being really helpful with this sketchbook is if you come across a card or a sketch out there that you really like and you're thinking, oh, I want to remember that, you could put it in this sketchbook. So that way, when you find the perfect products to use with that sketch or with whatever it was that inspired you, you'll have it there and you can easily access it. So I think there are lots of different ways that you can use this book other than just sketching out a card and then making the card. You also could use this to document cards that you've already made. Like if there's a card that you really loved and you want to make sure that you can refer back to the template for that card, you can go in and sketch out what that card looked like. I don't know how I have never seen a product like this before, but I am so happy that Trinity Stamps reached out to me because I am going to be getting a lot of use out of this. So I've marked down all my products and my colors. Here I decided to use Copic markers. Next time I think I will use colored pencils or try my ink pads just because I did have a little bit of bleed through with that Copic marker. So I'm going to dive into the card now and you guys are going to see whether or not my finished product came out to look like my sketch. So I'm starting out here with some Distress Mica spray. This is Snow Flurries. It's one of the seasonal sprays. And then I have some straight Distress spray. This is in Prize Ribbon. And I've taken the top off and I'm just flicking it with my finger so I can get some splatter on top. And that's going to give it this cool multicolor look to the snowflakes. For my background, again, I'm going to spray in a couple of spots with that mica spray, and then I'm going to come in with the Prize Ribbon and I'm going to do some spraying on there as well. And then I'm actually going to come in with some white picket fence spray and I'm going to do some splatter. That's going to give me the look kind of snowflakes, I feel like. And it's just going to help create this cool wintry background scene for my snowflakes to be falling in. I did use 80-pound Neenah Coverstock for the snowflakes, but then for my background piece, I used 110-pound. So now I'm going to glue my beautiful spray stained snowflakes on top of their shadow layers, which I cut out of white cardstock. So essentially we're going to have a white border around this card, then we'll have our Distress spray background, and then we'll have the white shadow, and on top of that white shadow we have the spray stained snowflake, and then we have the white centers. So we're going white, spray stain, and that just helps to keep everything really appealing so it breaks everything up. Because if you put those spray stained snowflakes just directly onto the spray stained background, you're going to lose them. You're not going to be able to see them. So having something to break them up so that they stand out is really going to help. I'm also going to pop these up later with some low profile foam adhesive squares so that way they have a little bit more dimension on the card and it's going to look really pretty. Now that my snowflakes are all put together, I'm going to go ahead and get my sentiment put together. I mentioned that this is the Snowflake Wishes die set. It's actually a stamp and die set, but unfortunately Spellbinders did not have any stamps to send to designers at the time, so they just sent us the dies. So I actually just took a stamp from my stash. I'm masking off part of it so that way it works with the coordinating dies. I think this is a really cool stamp and die set, so definitely check it out, as well as the snowflake dies. But I just wanted to explain what I was doing and why I was using a different stamp. So this stamp, I masked it off so that the sending was masked, and it says paper hugs your way. And that's going to work perfectly here with the top die cut, which cuts out the letters. I think this is a really cool looking die. I did cut it out in silver foil paper as well as white cardstock, and I'm gonna glue the silver foil onto that white cardstock just to give it a little bit more strength, because I am gonna be popping this up, putting it on top of the snowflakes, and I wanted to make sure that that beautiful lettering did not get smushed. So now I'm just gluing the little banner piece that I cut out using the stamp from my stash, and it's going to fit right underneath the word sending, and it's all one piece. I think that looks really pretty. Next, I'm going to go ahead and glue my background to my card base. It's an A2 size card base, so it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I did trim down my distressed background so that there is about 1/4 of an inch all the way around. And then, like I mentioned, I am popping up the snowflakes with some double-sided adhesive foam. This is low profile, so this should still easily mail and not have to go into any kind of specialty mailer. I'm getting my snowflakes all positioned. You can see there I've got the largest of the 3 that's going on the center left, and then the 2 smaller snowflakes are going to go on the right hand side. Once I get those on the card, I can just add my sentiment. And really, this is a super easy card to put together. It did not take me very long at all, but because we have all of that beautiful mica and spray stain and then the silver sentiment kind of going on, it really all looks like it took much longer than it actually did. If you guys have not tried using spray stains to color your die cuts, I definitely recommend giving it a try. So here is the finished card. Oh, look at all that shiny goodness. I love, love, love how this turned out. Let's see how it turned out in comparison to that sketch I did at the very beginning. I think it's pretty spot on. I was really pleased. All right, guys, be sure to check down in the description below to check out this awesome new sketchbook as well as the new products. I hope you guys picked up some new tips and tricks today. Please be sure to like and subscribe, as well as hit that notification bell so that way I can continue bringing you crafty content in the future. Until next time, happy crafting.